Welcome back to Next Life Garage. As you can see, we've got Cherry back in the sick bay. The AC pump compressor that we put in the last video, it didn't work when we charged it up. I guess the switch or something's bad on it. They've sent us a new compressor, so we're going to be swapping that compressor out, putting the new one in. And while it was down waiting on the compressor, I let a buddy drive it while his car was in the shop. And she's blessed us with another problem. The water pump's gone bad. But at least, I get to knock out two birds with one stone again on the Jeep. Because had I not let him drive it, put those miles on it, it would have sat here waiting for the new AC compressor to get in. I'd have put the new AC compressor in, and then 300, 400, 500 miles down the road, that water pump would have gone out again, and I'd have been doing this yet one more time. So at least I get to do one more serpentine belt removal, one more auxiliary fan removal, and hopefully we'll be able to do the water pump without taking much more of that stuff out. But I'll get you guys out of the sky, show you where the water pump is, and you know what I'm going to be doing for the AC compressor. But I'm going to get at it. Right, we're looking at the engine bay of Cherry again. Being the lemon that she is, we're working on her again. But we're going to remove the air box and tube to the throttle body again. We're going to remove the auxiliary fan again. Not going to remove the power steering pump. That's still holding up pretty well. This pulley right here that my finger's on is the pulley for the water pump, and the water pump's behind there. You got some heater hoses and return hose, bypass hose for the Kool-Aid coming across the top of the engine there. And then we've got the hose for the heater supply going in down here on the bottom. Shine a little light in there for you guys. You see where it hooks up right there. See where it hooks up right there to the top of the water pump. We'll probably be disconnecting it from right there where it goes over to the heater box, that little clamp right there. So that's what I'm going to be getting at right now. I'll bring you guys back in once I get the fan out, air box out, and get down to that water pump. Show you a little trick for getting that pulley off if it looks like the pulley's got to come off in order to get the pump out. So a couple of bolts behind that pulley. Well, so again, this is probably going to take a few hours at least to get this accomplished, so I'm going to get at it. Well, here's a little trick for getting that water pump pulley off when I can't get the chain vise on it. Got a small pry bar, sissy bar right there, stuck down in between two of the bolts on the far side of that pump right there, so that it'll hold the pulley in place while I crack these two bolts on this side off, and then I'll spin it over and secure the sissy bar on the other two bolts, and then crack the two loose that the pry bar is resting on right now. And I am going to have to remove the power steering pump again. Not going to disconnect the lines though, but this bracket here that holds the power steering pump, sandwiches it in between the intake manifold. It's got a couple bolts on the water pump down there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but 1, 2 on the water pump right there. So that plate's at least got to come off, which means those bolts have to come back out, water pump or power steering pump has to come back off. So it does have to come off. Well, I'm going to get back at it. Just wanted to show you all that quick little trick there for getting pulleys off, especially when I can't get the chain vise on them. So I'll bring y'all back in once I get a little further along. We've got the water pump off of the Jeep now. What I'm working on is getting this heater, either supply or return, I don't know which one it is, one or the other. Probably supply to the heater box in the cab. Trying to get that swapped out so we can put it on the new pump. And as you can see, that water pump wobbles so much that little Wayne would probably be trying to drop it like it's hot. So hopefully we're going to get this solved, putting a new water pump on. I'm going to work on getting this thing off, see if we can't give her a little yank. Alright, got her loose. So I'm going to work on getting that the rest of the way off and getting it swapped out on the new pump, and then we'll get the new pump put on after we clean up the gasket surface, of course, and we'll see how she's doing at that point. We've got everything back together in Cherry. Get a flashlight here. New water pump down in there. Belts attached. Power steering pump's back on. Air box back in, plumbed back up. We've got the radiator topped off. Burped it a little bit with the old burping device. So we're ready to get her back to the shop, see if we can't get the AC charged back up and see if we can't keep it cool in the cab this summer. But that job is done. Made a little bit of a mess on the floor down here, but we did manage to keep most of it in the pan. You can see I like cardboard. It helps absorb the splashing that goes on when you break one of these things open. But we managed to catch most of it in the pans there, so we'll get that disposed of and get this thing to shop and see if we can't get her charged back up and working again. Well, that's going to wrap us up for this episode. Hopefully the second AC compressor is going to do what we need it to do. Hopefully we got all the air out of the Kool-Aid system there, so we don't have any overheat or air locks in there and get a little hot while we're taking her to get the AC charged back up, see if we can keep it cool in there. Thank y'all for watching. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Check out the other videos on the Nissan, the Buick, and I've got some stuff coming on Big Karen. Also have a few things out there on the Yanmar, so check those out while you're out there. Till next time, don't take no wooden nickels and be good. Somebody's got to.